Question 10. Jaime broke his little sister's piggy bank and collected $220 from it. He is going to use the money to treat his friends to the movies once a month. Every time he goes to the movies, he will spend $33 on himself and 2 friends. Okay, part A. Write a function that describes the dollar amount of money, D, Jaime has after T months. So D is my variable that I'm using for money in dollars, and T is my variable that I'm using for time, specifically in months, right? Time is being measured in months. So let's go back to what's our independent, what's our dependent variable. Does the amount of money Jaime has depend on how many months are passing by? Or do the months depend on how much money Jaime has? Okay, just think about it for a moment. Which one sounds right? Okay, so you should really identify that the amount of money Jaime has depends on the time that's passing by. So if the amount of money Jaime has depends on the amount of time that's passing by, money is the dependent variable. Okay, that's a little bit of a review from chapter 1. Okay, now they want us for part A to write a function that describes the dollar amount, right? I think I just said that. So I'm going to use the variables that they give me, and I'm going to write a function for the dollar amount as a function of time, d of t. And that's going to be equal to whatever my rate of change is plus what I start with. Now, rate of change is simply what Jaime is spending every month, right? It's constant rate of change. Every month he's going to spend $33. He's not going to spend more or he's not going to spend less. It's going to be exactly the same every month. So because he's spending the same amount every month, we can call this our constant rate of change. It also means something, but we'll talk about that in a moment. So $33 is being spent. My constant rate of change for this problem is negative 33 because he's spending $33 every month. I also have to consider my independent variable. My independent variable here is time, right? T in months. Dependent variable is money. So you can call it D, the money. Okay, so I have my constant rate of change. My constant rate of change is dependent on how many months are passing by, right? So it's going to get multiplied by the amount of months that are happening. Because every month I'm losing 33, or Jaime is losing $33. I also have to consider what Jaime is starting with in order to write my equation. So although he's spending $33 a month, he's also starting with a whopping $220 that he stole from his baby sister. Okay, so that's the first part. Your function should be d of t is equal to negative 33 times t, which here t represents time, the number of months, plus 220, plus what Jaime starts with. The second question, state the slope and describe what it means. So slope simply is the constant rate of change. When you guys were in middle school, you learned y equals mx plus b. This is the form in slope-intercept form for the equation of a line. I know that when I have a constant rate of change, I'm going to have a linear function. So this, what I just wrote out, is actually a linear function, right? D of t is the same thing as saying y. And then this number here, this negative 33, is the same as my slope. X is just my independent variable, and here I substituted it for t. So you should see, although I'm using different variables and I have numbers, you should see some sort of overlap with what you learned in middle school and how we're writing things now in IM1 and with function notation. So it's kind of the same idea. And when I'm using slope-intercept form, or even when I'm writing a function for a linear function, I have to identify what my slope is. In this case, my slope is actually my constant rate of change. So for question B, you can write, the slope is negative $33. And what does it mean? It means that Jaime is losing or spending $33 every month. So I just explained it. See if here you can write it in your own words. Slope is my constant rate of change. I'm going to put ROC for rate of change. And it means that he's spending $33 every month. So my slope is negative 33. Again, what does it mean? It means that Jaime is spending at a constant rate. Graph the function. I'm running out of space here, but I will try my best. The best way to do this, I did it earlier, is just to go by 25s. So if you go by 25s, it should all fit. Remember, you start with your y-intercept. In this case, we're starting with 220. So if I go by 25s, I reach 225. I'm going to erase some stuff so that you guys could see it, because this is very messy. Bear with me here. Let me use a different ink. Okay, so if I am going by 25s, I end up top at 225. So 25, 50, 75, it's hard to see, 100, 125, 150, that's a 1, 175, 200, and lastly 225. I apologize that it's messy, but you kind of get the idea, right? Just start at 25 for the first line and go all the way to 225. I know that he starts with $220, so I need to plot that and take that into account. It's very, very close to the top. So I put a dot there. And then after the first month, Jaime has $187. Okay, so we can think of this actually as my ordered pairs. After the first month, Jaime has $187. After the second month, he has $154. After the third month, he has $121. So my line should be going down, right? My slope is negative. He's losing money. After the first month, here's month 1, month 2. I have 187, so that's very close. It's not going to be perfect, okay? So just do your best. Somewhere there. I don't know if you can see my dot. Somewhere there. Second month, it's about 154. So here's 150, a little bit above 150. And it's hard to do on here, but you kind of get the idea. I'm going to do kind of a little sketch of what it should look like. Going down, right? So please make sure that for the test, your graph is neater and not as this was a sketch for the sake of time as well. So neater, make sure that you go by the exact amount. And in case we have little space to work with, what I would recommend is that you actually write out your points so that I see that you understand that this is a constant rate of change and that he's losing $33 a month. So I think that's it for this question.